let's begin today with a new series that we're launching on Bitcoin facts. And here's one that may surprise you. So Bitcoin fact number 1. Did you know that the FBI has a huge Bitcoin wallet? Yeah, it's true. When the FBI shut down the operations of the dark web marketplace, Silkroad, it became the owner of approximately 175,000 Bitcoins. Okay, so let's expand on the whole Silkroad saga. Launched in February 2011, Silkroad was an online black market and the first modern dark net market. It was only accessible through the Tor anonymizing network. Silkroad allowed the trading of all sorts of illegal goods and services, from malicious software to hard drugs, through a user-friendly Amazon-like interface. Its founder was known by the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, also known as DPR. Silkroad relied on Bitcoin due to its hard-to-trace payment system. Silkroad was profitable, and DPR amassed a multi-million-dollar fortune in Bitcoin. But in October of 2013, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, shut down the website and arrested Ross Ulbricht under the charges of being the site's pseudonymous founder, Dread Pirate Roberts. The FBI did a long series of transactions, each for 324 Bitcoins, recorded in the public Bitcoin ledger. When typed into a phone's numeric pad, the number 324 spells FBI. The FBI has two major Bitcoin wallets. As far as seized Silkroad coins, there are 26,000 Bitcoin that were left in an escrow account of Silkroad, which was being used to exchange money between the marketplace's users and dealers, was transferred to one wallet. And then you have the DPR Seized Coins. About 144,000 Bitcoins directly received from Ulbricht's wallet were transferred to the second. So how have people reacted to this? Well, some radical libertarians started sending micro donations to the FBI wallets, ranging from 0.00001 Bitcoin to about 0.0001 Bitcoin. Big difference there. They included messages as well, some of which included, quote, "Prohibition doesn't work, stop ruining people's lives," and "Members of the FBI, you are more interested in control, or are you more interested in justice?" Then there was an auction on the 27th of June 2014. The U.S. Marshals Service sold 29,657 Bitcoins in 10 blocks in an online auction estimated to be worth $18 million at the time. Tim Draper bought the Bitcoins at the auction with an estimated worth of $17 million to lend them to a Bitcoin startup called Vorum, which is working in developing countries of emerging markets. Some other quick facts: on the 6th of November 2013, Silkroad 2.0 came online, run by a former administrator of Silkroad. It was also shut down, and the alleged operator was arrested on the 6th of November 2014, a year later, as part of the so-called Operation Onimus. During investigations, it was found that DEA agent Carl Force and Secret Service agents Sean Bridges were stealing Bitcoins while investigating Silkroad, and they were sent to prison. Hey everybody, it's Matty here with Altcoin Buzz with you on this Thursday, and I hope you're having a good one. Today we're talking about how Bitcoin has been outperforming oil here on stockhead.com, on finance.yahoo.com. Institutional investors are powering Bitcoin's bull run, according to a new report. On altcoinbuzz.io, we'll bring you up to speed with Enjin, which is tapped into the Japanese market with Hashport Accelerator. Also on altcoinbuzz.io, VeChain and Penfolds partner to combat wine counterfeiting. But moving on now to stockhead.com with some news of the day. Here's an interesting one. Bitcoin continues to stand up as a safe haven while oil tumbles into a bear market. So despite all the volatility and all of the naysaying we keep hearing about, this is the reality. Trade tensions and fear of a global recession has been a drag on oil prices even during peak season for demand. Now, there's not really much talk about Bitcoin in this article, to be perfectly honest, but you can read about how futures fell as much as 5.8%. Global stocks, as far as commodities, slid overall in the last couple of weeks, and the price of crude oil has slipped recently. Despite all that, overall in the past few months, the trend for Bitcoin has been growth. So if you really want to dive into the specifics here, into the analytics, we'll link to this article, of course, in the description below. But as you can see, oil is not exactly having the best quarter. And this plugs directly into what we've been discussing recently, including some of the opinions by those such as Max Kaiser, who's saying that Bitcoin is a very useful hedge at a time when the public's interest in the public institutions, such as government, such as the financial institutions, is slipping. You have other individuals such as Mike Novogratz, who's saying that it's a great hedge against the financial market and what is happening with oil commodities and other commodities in the world. Here now on finance.yahoo.com, institutional investors are powering Bitcoin's bull run, and that's according to a new report. A new class of, quote, institutional investors spurred by large financial institutions such as Fidelity is fueling this year's dramatic bull run, according to the first biannual report from digital asset management firm Coinshares. Though the report cautions that retail side investment is waning, it proclaimed a new era of Bitcoin dominance. It's a solid report overall, and if you want to dig into it, it is linked to in the article, but the overall conclusion of the research suggests that it is, quote, institutional money fueling the market. Yahoo is calling that conclusion possibly short-sighted. The market dominance of embattled stablecoin Tether, a dollar-denominated token used by whales unable to access U.S. capital, has raised uncomfortable questions this year. Last month, for example, Decrypt reported that vast sums of Tether are bought wholesale in advance of massive trades by large over-the-counter trading desks. And so the venerable banks and pension funds who qualify as, quote, institutional investors would be unlikely to make their entrance via Tether rather than, say, a proudly regulated exchange like Gemini. We'll take a deeper dive into this report in the coming days, but if you'd like to take a look at it, it's only a dozen or so pages, so it's well worth your read if you're interested in this space, which I'm assuming you are. Let's face it, if you're watching this video. So check it out. We'll link to this in the description below. News now about Enjin on altcoinbuzz.io. They've tapped into the Japanese market with Hashport Accelerator. Article here by Ezekiel. Enjin announces partnership with Tokyo-based Hashport Accelerator and is looking to expand its reach to the Japanese blockchain gaming community. This is a really big deal because Japan has over 67 million gamers, and it's the third largest gaming market globally, with so many amazing games such as Final Fantasy, Street Fighter, Pokemon, and of course many others. Everyone clearly understands the capabilities Japanese game developers have in this industry. After a very successful introduction into the South Korean market last year, Japan is undoubtedly on the list for Enjin as well. As a result, Enjin has announced an official partnership with Tokyo-based Hashport Accelerator. So Hashport aims to introduce and support selected world-class blockchain projects into the Japanese market, and Enjin is the first project supported by Hashport Accelerator. Hashport is going to provide Enjin with localization support, which includes listing of Enjin coin on more cryptocurrency exchanges, as well as connecting them with potential business partners in Japan. We have other news here with VeChain, which has partnered with Penfolds to combat wine counterfeiting. Article here by Deepika. Chinese importer DIG partners with VeChain to use wine traceability platform in order to track import of wine in China. A case of Penfolds wine bottles have been tagged with NFC chips. Penfolds' leading Cabernet Sauvignons Bin 407 have been tagged with NFC chips to be tracked on the blockchain. The Chinese wine customers can now scan the NFC tags and gain access to the product details, which will be stored on VeChain tamper-proof blockchain. Penfolds and VeChain collaborated to fight the wine counterfeiting, which is on the rise in China, but VeChain is going to ensure the product provenance details are stored on their blockchain, and all these details will be audited by third parties like DNV GL. Also worth mentioning is the fact that the leading auditing corporation, Ernst & Young, or EY as you may know them, is also making use of blockchain technology to track and trace the import of wines from Europe to Asia. Check out the rest of Deepika's article for all the other details, but that about wraps it up for the news today, everybody. Do be sure you are following us on all the regular social media channels, and keep checking back into our website. There it is, altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Hey, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this Thursday, but we hope to see you again, as always, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, in our next video. Take care.